And we are live. Good evening, party people. It is Thought Experiment Thursdays on the NonProphet Podcast with Eric, Jake, and Black. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Beat.
I understand the feeling.
Kids. Wife came home from Europe, and first thing she does is fucking drop the baby and then get sick. And I'm just like, fucking great. So there's that.
Do me a favor. Turn up my volume just a bit, just a little bit on the stream.
You can do that. There we go.
So, what happened with the baby dropping?
Baby's crawling, and she set him down on the bed and walked out of the room, and he crawled to the edge of the bed and smacked his head hella hard. Fell off the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
I ripped her a new one.
That sounds like something she'd do, though.
Yeah, right? I know.
Don't be too hard. I mean,
No.
she's going to beat herself up.
No, she won't. She doesn't beat herself up enough over that kind of stuff. I was just like straight up, like, probably don't want to talk too much about this on the podcast, but I'm not going to keep beating her up about it, but I was like straight up, like, you need to pray and meditate on this. Like, your risk assessment is like not good, and it needs to be better, or you're going to hurt the kids. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's nothing new. It is what it is. I think part of it is that I'm a man. I've been risky most of my life. And so I have a really good risk assessment. And, like, I just know when stuff's just, like, stupid dangerous, and so, but I think a woman who's never really had, didn't ride a crotch rocket for years, like, just isn't going to understand threats the same way. Fist fights with people you don't know in dark alleys, stealing.
Job. Risk assessment is always a man's job.
Yeah.
You cannot expect a woman to understand that in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
But unfortunately, it's like more practical, like minute by minute. Like I can't have the baby all the time. You know what I mean?
No. But that's not what I mean. I mean, it's just your job to teach her, and then she should do it. These are the rules for our kids. Do it.
I do. But it's like.
No, I know you do.
Children will find children will find ways to push that boundary. No, that's the problem. This is not an accident. It's never like I said. I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to like say bad stuff about my wife on a podcast because I love my wife. But I'll just leave it at this: is that like she can be better at it, and I do. I want her to pray on it. I don't think she's doing anything like hurt anybody, but like it doesn't matter. Like if you're a bonehead and that gets people hurt, like consequences are consequences. So.
Well, I'm sure the kid will be fine.
Oh, yeah, that time he was, but you can't do too many of those, man. You only get so many head hits,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the case.
Man. Your kid's track records isn't too good so far with head injury.
That's my point, though.
I know.
Like, my wife, like, needs to get her shit together. Like, it's like, I'm afraid to leave her with the kids, It freaks me the hell out.
Just get a helmet for them. When they go with mom, they have to wear a helmet.
Dude, no joke.
Just start doing it and see what she says. Be like, all right, kids, you gotta put your helmets on. You're going with mom.
No, we talk too much about that to begin with. Let's see here. Where's my? There we go. You should watch my turn on my stream on Discord.
Discord different than what
Was Black talking just then?
I think
yeah,
Black
is
was
your
talking.
stream on Discord different than your stream on YouTube?
Yeah, he's just streaming
Yeah.
on Discord.
Yeah, no, they're completely different. Although I do show what's on my Discord, what I show you guys, I also put on my stream. But I have other stuff going on my stream too. Like I have text on there. I mean, if you ever pull it up, you could see it right now. You could pull it up right now if you wanted to.
It's just delayed by like 15 seconds. Or
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good way to communicate. I just mean you can see it. You can see what's being displayed. I have a like content I put up there. Anyways, so this is crazy. There's some crazy stuff. Let's see if I can just do it without sound. I don't really need the sound.
That's not crazy. That's somebody that's behind like some fucking weird glass or some shit.
What are you talking about?
This video. This picture.
Oh, have you seen this before?
Yeah,
Still-
that's not real.
Still dope though. I'm trying to move.
Yo,
my,
you wanna check out a cool place that's nearby us?
Like, look,
do what?
Jake,
Yeah.
look at the shadow in front of the sun, of the cloud, quote unquote cloud.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally.
It looks like a little tank. It's fucking copied on every single image of the sun. That's bullshit. It's fake.
Sure.
Like
No,
there's
I'm
like
not-
a piece of glass. There's a piece of glass there that has a bunch of layers or something, and it's reflecting them a little different, or something like that. But anyway, it's so obviously fake. That's all.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
What, the Three Suns?
I mean, no, it's. Hang on, I'm doing a filter change on my stream. Give me a second here. There we go. Oh, I guess this is absolutely ridiculous.
And here comes Dunlop. Dunlop all over.
I'm gonna video edit this.
This is going to
I have a little
be
project I want to do with
this.
this. Look at this.
Can Mike Brown hold off Michael Dunlop? Can Michael Dunlop find a gap?
How much can you play?
Brown has to be
Probably stop it.
perfect as he has been all the way.
There's even an icon in the upper
Mistake
right
now
corner.
will
I'm not worried.
hand it to Dunlop, and Dunlop diving up the inside.
I have it trimmed really well.
Towards Church Bends, but I don't think he's got him. Could be some move on Dunlop here. It's not. It's
You see
Brown.
more than what
Dunlop can get
everyone
on
else
the gap.
sees.
Out of here now.
Okay.
It's straight line speed.
I've got it
That's
set
fucking
up
awesome.
200 miles an hour down these fucking straights, man.
At any moment, but Brown is still holding on as they come to stadium. Can he make a move?
Yeah, these guys are
Rock,
insane.
I remember Chris was in Vegas, and I went
Like
to see.
genuinely insane.
That is insane. That is genuinely insane. Genuinely insane. Oh, this one's fun. Yeah, here's a couple good ones.
There's this fungus. It lives half of its life in an ant colony and half of its life in a sheep. It takes over the brain of an ant, and it gets that ant to climb to the
Oh, yeah, I've
top
seen
of a
this too.
stalk of grass. Why? Because when the sheep come along to
Real
graze,
life
they
zombies.
will inhale the ant.
Mm-hmm.
What? You're telling me that a fungus can control the mind of an ant in ways that we're just beginning to explore now? There's this fungus.
It's only in bugs, though. I
Uh,
don't think it's been in sheep.
No, I think what they're finding out is that these fungi are really smart, and we take these, like humans can take these hallucinogenic mushrooms, and essentially what we're doing is taking these like incredibly smart organisms and consuming them, and they like make us smart too. It's kind of crazy. There's this It's like going theme. I don't believe this, but this going theme that the Bible is about magic mushrooms and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
I don't think so either, but I do think there's some truth in psychedelics and their relevance in religion. Like, I think they've had like a very strong influence on religion. And I think there probably is some
tribal stuff, Native American, and like all these, they all use hallucinogens.
Have you seen this video?
No,
You know who this is?
I don't think.
Do you know who this is?
No.
This is Buzz Aldrin, one of the first guys to walk on the moon.
I was actually just gonna guess that.
Interesting.
It's just small on my screen. I couldn't really see it.
Or they won't keep paying the bills.
Why has nobody?
I don't know. I feel like if somebody already had an interest in this stuff, they would have already kind of gone through their own self-discovery process by now.
Hang on a second.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know.
What are we hanging on to?
We're listening to a clip. You're not watching the stream, are you?
Oh no, I'm watching it. I didn't just.
Can you
There's
hear?
no sound on Discord stream.
Nobody been to the moon in such a
There's
long
no Discord. You can't hear this.
No,
Oh.
there's no sound on it.
Really? I'm gonna start it over. Also share system audio.
Are we going down the whole rabbit hole thing again?
I don't think so, but it's just his typical MO.
What? No, it's okay. Well, I'm just goofing off, man. I don't give a shit. Try to re-accept that and see if you get sound. Just tell me if you get any sound.
Paying the bills.
Why has nobody been to
Yep.
the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Two of our favorite stories on this podcast, the trapped in the closet thing.
Yeah, that's when he said he didn't go to the moon.
Yeah, he said that shit a couple times. It's one of the more like real obvious times he said it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun.
Did you see the recent footage of flight MH370?
I've seen a bunch of that. Yeah.
Well, like you saw what's recently reported on it, right?
Say that again.
You saw what was recently recorded and released about it?
No, tell me.
So on your videos there, see if they have anything about MH370.
I'm not
The one
gonna.
that fell out of the sky, like straight down.
I can't hear what.
I'm trying to sound down on this one.
All right, say it again now.
I said, is that the one where the plane just falls straight out of the sky?
No, they never recovered this one.
Oh.
Yeah, Jake, look that up.
I want to go look stuff up for you. I hate it when you do that. You go look it up and you send it to me.
I know.
No, really, seriously. Like, I can't. go look it up. I spent enough time doing that shit. No, I don't want to goof around on a search bar. Please, I encourage you to find that kind of stuff and put links in there, and I can click on it, and I'll totally do it. If you want to go look it up, I highly recommend you do that. Oh, this is cool. I hate this damn music, though.
I mean, that's just clouds.
It's well, you can
So
see
you
what it
wanna
says. It's
look
the
at
Atlas V launch. And this is
Are you looking this up on YouTube or are you
this is Facebook.
Oh.
But that's just intense, like from the ground. Like I wonder who's recording this. Like I mean, I've never looked.
In a plane.
It goes all the way, all the way, all the way. Super cool.
You can't look up MH370.
Lou, please just go do it.
Look it up and send him a link.
Yeah, please.
Well, I
stop.
don't have Facebook.
Well, go on YouTube. I don't care. Just go, whatever. You put a link in there for me and I click it. I can bring up any format. I've got windows I can switch between like 3 different applications if I need to. It just keeps on going up and up and up and up and up. I don't like the flat earth stuff. I just like the video. I don't know what the hell anyone's saying about flat earth. I'm not a goddamn flat earther. And quite frankly, that just looks like a rocket just going straight up into space. You know? I mean, I don't know.
Dude, it looked like it got pretty close.
It's a cool video, though.
Did you see that? That's like a windshield wiper. Obviously, they were flying into it.
Yeah, I mean,
pilots.
Yeah. I mean, that could be someone military. You know, who knows? I mean, they're definitely up high.
Nobody builds something that big.
Oh, this is epic.
Just for fun.
Check this out. Give me some volume on this.
The Longyu Caves, located in the village of Xianbeitun in Zhejiang Province, China, are a massive and majestic ancient underground world, as well as an ongoing mystery that has confounded scientists from every discipline that has researched them. 24 hand-carved caves encompassing a staggering 30,000 square meters have been found so far. Despite their magnitude and the work required to build them, no indication of their construction, or even their existence, has been discovered in archival sources. Despite the fact that the whole excavation involved about 1 million cubic meters of stone, there is no archaeological evidence explaining where that amount of stone went, nor is there evidence of the work being done. Furthermore, there isn't a single historical source that mentions it, which is extremely remarkable given the scope of the undertaking. Despite decades of analysis, the Longyu Caves mystery remains essentially unsolved.
This shit's so ridiculous.
We had to. Like, that's like.
Where was that?
It's in Malaysia. They're 30,000-year-old caves where they're essentially like half the size of Giza was cut out of the side of this thing. There's these just huge ornamental pillars and these just like laser carved like scenes all across it, and it's just like untouched. It's just like mind blowing. And yeah, it looks like they just used like a laser scooper. Like it just looks like it was like zoop zoop, like hella rough cut, like as fast as they could cut these things. Like it has that precision. To me, it's interesting. They have this precision that some other ones may not, or they have, but like it doesn't have the real detailed refinement. Like see this? Like it's a lot of it's rough, but it's still like done with like incredibly powerful tools. Just outrageous. Look this up. The let me see here. I'll tell you the name of the caves again.
Nobody builds something that big underground.
I like.
Just for fun.
Check this out. Give me some volume on this.
The Longyu Caves.
Longyu. That's right. Longyu Caves. Oh, that I will look up. I watched a documentary on him recently. What's that?
All these videos.
Did you switch back to your headset? Because I can't hear you. Mic check. You still there?
Hey guys, this is Mike with the Wandering Wolf, and we are here at the Longyu Caves.
Yeah, dude, this shit's so crazy.
That thing's huge.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's like half the size of Giza, like half the size of one of those big pyramids. So like, but it's inside, it's massive.
I mean, I've seen Roman aqueducts. I've been inside Roman aqueducts that were pretty big. Like usually those underground areas are for water reservoirs for cities.
What was down here?
Right? It totally could have been.
Discovered the remains or what's been pulled out of here some of the ceilings in here reach up
Get
to
that link I
100
sent.
feet high. You're talking about like 3,000 square
I'll
feet
put it in.
per
Yeah.
cave, which is over 30,000 square feet of caves.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Here, I'll just like that.
You see that the video I sent you?
Did you get Black's link?
Let me grab it. Where do you, yeah, I do. I see it. Let me pull it up. BitChute. You use BitChute? Really?
It's the only way I can find stuff. I couldn't even find this on regular websites. It's crazy.
I'm taking a look at that.
Yeah, no, so I'm gonna try to find a good like highlight.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I have those videos, and I've got. He talks about something that you're talking about. I have those videos. I can pull this up. I don't need your.
Yeah, 113. Yeah, go to 113.
No, I have those videos. I have raw. I just need to pull them up. Where's my UAP? I have a few of them.
If you go to minute 13 on that.
No, I got. Hang on.
Good start.
I got you. I
Or
got
1
you.
hour.
I got you. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this footage. There's a bunch of this footage. So what you're talking about, right, Lynn? Or I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Black.
I know what that is.
I'm sorry. I don't know if it's legit though. I'm not sure. I believe it's legit.
Well, the video I sent you is this guy basically reviewing the video. And what you have right there is maybe one camera angle, but this guy has two other cameras.
Yeah, I have him too. I'm looking for him.
Either way, how it disappears is just fucking wild.
It is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Well, let's see if I can.
And so yours doesn't even show it here.
Here's one of the other angles. And yeah, I know what you're saying. I've seen a bunch of cuts, downs, and analysis on these videos.
Your face is in the way, Jake.
My face is in the way of what?
The camera or the video.
Oh, you watching me on the stream? Boop. Yeah, I've watched a bunch of I have a couple more of these videos. They have the ones that are in a different color. I've got all kinds of UAP videos,
Yeah,
man.
Well, no, I mean that's all recorded from one crash, and it was not a crash. They never recovered this.
Here's another one. Bloop.
Yeah. So I know it's gonna be
wow.
closet, but yeah.
Here.
Did you see that big portal?
Yep. Yeah. Start it over.
It was like
Yeah.
it
Bloop.
was like a huge portal.
Yep.
No, play it again.
I'll just let the rest of this
Go
video.
back to
I'm just gonna let the rest of this video play. You'll see.
So in the other video link that I had sent over to there, one of the things that the guy does on there, he's like an expert analysis kind of guy. He slows it down to like frame rate onto there, so you can see it. You can actually see like so behind it, you see the contrail of the plane, right? Or like what's behind the plane, like the trail that leaves behind the heat line or the smoke trail, whatever that is behind the plane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chemtrail.
Continue.
Yeah.
The chemtrail, right? Exactly.
And the other video, in the other videos that they have the different color schemes, like whether it's infrared or whatever it is.
Yeah, this one's got it.
You can actually see that there's I wouldn't call it a contrail, but there's in front of those warps that are floating around it. There's something in front of it, like it's doing something the exact opposite of a contrail, like the other direction.
Well, and you can even see them like push through the contrail, like disturb the contrail. This one's crazy. I love it. This is a good one. This is a good one. And then when they zoom in on it, it's so creepy. Homeboy zooms in on this thing. I wonder what it is. Like, I'm not really sure it's an alien, but like I wonder what the hell this thing is. So creepy.
It doesn't look like it's moving.
Just wait a second. I have some of these edited, shortened. Some of my UAP files. Boop. Oh my god. I know how hard it is to do this. I've tried to take pictures of crazy shit like this before. The fuck is that?
It's so weird. It looks like a fucking spiky balloon.
Just wait. Just wait.
Or it.
There it is.
It could be a. It could be a group of balloons. I don't fucking know.
The fuck is that?
So, the other video, though, the reason why it's more scarier to me is they still haven't recovered. Like, there's been no official evidence recorded of a crash. They haven't had a recovery of the black box. There's been no.
Look at these Tic Tacs. Look at these Tic Tacs. This is ridiculous. These Tic Tacs.
What's doing?
I swear to God, this is the kind of shit I saw the other day. It was at night, but
like the thing on those ones though is like until there's more evidence released or something, it's all up in the air. There's like literally countless of those videos, but for the other one where the plane disappears, like dude, there's 300. There's people on there that are straight up missing. They have not recovered the plane at all.
I actually
damage. It's gone.
Those. I think those things that you saw on the plane, I think they're probably more likely a targeting system for a gun. And I'm not saying it's not a teleporter. It could be a teleportation gun. But I've been hearing a lot about this, how they have these satellite triangulations that can manifest to like physical objects. Like they're such powerful. Think about it this way: like I study stuff like JWST and Hubble, and I understand like the way it collects light, and then it can like point it at other things. I understand the physics behind this stuff. If you don't think they don't have some super advanced satellites so they can like triangulate and have like 15 of these things that can all like target something and like make a physical manifestation will show up on film and radar, like I know they do, and I think that's what you're seeing. They probably.
What do you tell the family? Like, what's the story? What do you tell the families? Because you can't tell them that we've searched for years on end. We've had not a single scrap of evidence come up that it's missing.
Half of those families probably are dead, and half of them probably fled because a lot of the people who were on that plane were going to this convention. This big superconductor convention, and so it's no surprise that they all disappeared.
So if you were trying to kill these people off, why not just blow up the plane? Why disappear?
I think it's the other way around.
Because if you have no evidence, then there's no leads. There's no trail to follow.
So what would be so bad that you have to use the divine intervention kind of device like that you have to do that to these people? You don't even give them the dignity of shooting them down, and people at least have comfort of knowing how they died, that they're actually gone, instead of like, imagine this is a loved one and this is the last thing you see.
If you're somebody that would disappear a whole plane, You really think they give a shit about closure for their family?
I don't. Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
saying that, no. What I'm saying is the draw to investigate is that much further and harder when you have survivors' families that actually feel like they still may be alive because they don't have definitive evidence. I could believe that they shot down a plane, and I could see that it scattered apart into 1,000 pieces and caught on fire. I can believe that one. What I can't believe is the last thing I see is my loved one's plane, and 3 orbs start circling around it, and in less than a second, the thing is entirely gone. Not a shred of it, like the technology that we've never seen before, and it gone. Like it doesn't even look like it blew up. It just it's mind shattering.
No, it looked like it either was sent to another dimension or
I think it was teleported. Here's
or
cloaked.
Even if you were to give closure to these people and tell them that they were dead, if you're telling them that they were transported to another dimension, I think that's going to open up a few more questions afterward that are also equally warranted.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They don't know anything. All they know is they're missing. So therefore, no answers are to be had. Therefore, whoever did it was successful in making sure that there was no trace and no questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no doubt that there is some conspiracy behind those orbs.
I think you're doing the exact opposite of the point of that, though. Is you're saying without a trace and without question. No, there's more questions. There would be less questions if you shot it out of the sky and said, "Oh, it was a rogue Russian missile," or
No, but now you can start. Now you have forensic evidence. You can figure out what kind of explosive, where it was made.
Sure, and somebody could even and you could blame it on another country as well too. You could do anything you want with it, but why use that advance of a technology to make it this thing?
Because it had 20 of the smartest people in the world on there, and so it's probably likely that someone stole them. I doubt they got killed. Someone probably stole them.
Okay, now that's a better idea though. But again, even if I would be satisfied as a family member knowing that they were kidnapped, essentially,
right?
It opens up more questions though that have to be answered, and you can't blow it off to the side.
But unfortunately, there's not a whole lot. Like, unfortunately, there's it's going to be a dead end because you're dealing with technologies that are so far advanced. And there's no way to gather evidence on them, so you can kind of just make an educated guess and move on.
So there was that other flight that got shot down over, like, what was that, like Russia, Ukraine, something like that. They mistaken it for another. They thought it was a military plane and they shot it down.
Yeah,
and killed a bunch of people.
It's happened a couple times.
Do you guys remember that?
I do.
A couple years ago.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, we don't question that story anymore because we have, like what you said, the evidence. We saw it was shot down. Somebody, somebody took the blame for it. Nobody ultimately went to jail for anything of this.
No, they hunted these like brigade, this like brigade of mercenaries down. It was like some like people. It was like ended up being these like mercs that got a hold of some like really advanced weaponry, who kind of like worked for both teams and were like trying to start a war. And they found that out, and Russia just said that and said, and I'm sorry. They were like, "We're sorry. We're just gonna hunt these people down and kill them because they're just like mercenaries for hire who got a hold of like real sophisticated air-to-ground weaponry and fired off a couple of them at a fucking jetliner."
I can live with that. I'm not excusing it, but I can live with that as a reason. What you still can't explain on this kind of scenario of how these people got disappeared like that. I mean, it's just such a broad stroking implication that as much as you got
hey to be fair to myself when it comes to this conversation, because I don't have any issue with like theory crafting about what you're talking about, but it's like I was talking about the Tartarian Empire the other day and you totally brushed me off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I just like, okay, well, so what about it? Like, what technology do you think did it? Like, why do you think they did it? Like, they got teleported to a different time and place. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, they just got wiped from history. Like, like, what do you want me to do? Why? I don't know. The technology getting used is so advanced.
Well, no, but some of the story was a flood.
Was what?
A flood. That's the story, kind of how Tartaria came into there. It was like a great mud flood.
You know, I don't know. See, here's the thing about me and everybody else in like the mainstream. Like most of the time, like people like in the mainstream, like all start believing the same thing and they get dogmatic really fast. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe the whole mud flood thing. I think the robber barons went in and fucking wiped them out. I think it was genocide.
Whatever it is, though, is there's still somewhat of an evidence amount that there. You can see some of these buildings have been buried. You can see that there's definitely implications that they may be older or well crafted by different means. And again, I can agree with all that stuff, and we can at least examine that because we at least have something to examine. Most we have is the fact that we can see a video of these things disappearing out of thin air.
Sure.
Like to me, and these people were alive. We're not talking about stuff that we can't, go back in our history and start scrolling through and see where our books get fuzzy at. This was just yesterday, in live time, on TV, like recorded, like.
I mean, I don't think it really ever ends, does it? It's much more like it's much more like the Matrix. It's much more like the Tartarian Empire and these people off of this plane went to the same place. You understand what I'm saying? Like we can have a whole lot of fun. We can have a whole lot of fun talking about it, but at the end of the day, they're gone. They're all gone. You know, there's no evidence. There's nobody knows what they did, what it was that they were selling to the world, giving to the world. It was taken away from us. Same with the Tartarian Empire, and it was done with probably some kind of advanced weaponry. You know, and that's all there is to it. It's probably the same people. You know. Unless it's like the good guys trying to save them from the bad guys, you know, like it's the only other thing I can think of. It's like, hey, you guys all need to be on this plane because you're like.
I think it's a soft release of some technologies that we're about to.
All right, I love this meme. You guys ever seen this?
Possible.
Have you guys?
It's possible.
Have you guys ever seen this?
Yeah.
Check this out. I'll turn it down. Come on, Black, you're like a 4chan guy. How have you never seen this shit? I'd like love to find this video in HD.
What the fuck are they doing?
Dancing. It's just this hot chick as a DJ though. She's just going crazy.
She's not a DJ.
Oh, she's DJing. I was like into this chick for a minute and like went and like looked up more videos of her. She does this. She's crazy. You ever seen this one? Hey Black, I know you spend time on 4chan too, right? Like you see memes, like you go on like 4chan, you laugh, you lose shit and stuff like that, and Wrecked and things like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, because sometimes like I show this stuff and I've just like seen it 1,000 times. She's cute too. I like these videos. These are good ones.
Just the look on her face when she looks over and sees she's being recorded.
Look at him.
Have you seen this one?
Baby cousin.
Oh my god.
What is that?
It's her baby cousin. He's so cute. Look at Tate's baby cousin. Look.
What is that?
Okay.
All right.
Chopping an onion is
There's no way he's buying that shit.
Let's do slicing first. The kind of correct way to do it is to slice it in half. So that's one way. The other way, which is what I do, is get a nice clean tea towel, put it in the middle, take up the corners, and then twist it, which is what I do. Just smash it up. And just squash it, squash it, squash it, squash it. Squash it again, which is what I do 7 times out of 10, frankly. Now, another way to do it, which I think is kind of cute, and this is the oldest kitchen gadget in the world. Obviously, it comes from rocks, and these will be relevant in different ways throughout my future. Top that up with a bit of oil. You can smell that 20 foot away. I can knock that out every single time, and I've done that. And this is really tiny, but you know, it does actually work. We put our fingers on either side, and like this, and just rub it around the perimeter of the skin. Fingers tucked away. Now, all you got to do is pop it in a brown paper bag. Now, as I do this, I'm starting to cry, so I'm going to be really quick. And once you've shaped it, beautiful, flying stuff. There you go.
I don't know why I like that video so much.
You're fucking stupid as fuck, that's why.
Oh, that's good. I really just want.
Weird as fucking shit.
They really do. You ever watch any 9/11 stuff, Eric?
Not really.
Really? You've never seen Loose Change?
I've seen them all, but
Have you seen this one?
make it bigger.
Do what?
I'm seeing your whole fucking screen.
In the morning of September
That's
11,
fine, I'll zoom in.
2001, 19 men armed with box cutters, directed by a man on dialysis in a cave fortress halfway around the world, using a satellite phone and a laptop, directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat-trained pilots on 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers, devout religious fundamentalists who like to drink alcohol, snort cocaine, and live with pink-haired strippers, managed to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes in New York. While in Washington, a pilot who couldn't handle a single-engine Cessna was able to fly a 757 in an 8,000-foot descending 270-degree corkscrew turn to come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon and the Budget Analyst Office, where DoD staffers were working on the mystery of the $2.3 trillion that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld had announced missing from the Pentagon's coffers in a press conference the day before, on September 10, 2001. Luckily, the news anchors knew who did it within minutes.
Osama bin Laden.
The pundits knew within hours.
Osama bin Laden.
The administration knew within the day.
Terrorists who committed these acts. And those who harbored them.
And the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap.
That a hijacker's passport was found blocked in the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that.
But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. That investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail, a conflict of interest, and a cover-up from start to finish. It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed. It failed to mention
If you need me to pause it or if you want me to stop, just tell me. Like, I'm not trying to torture you.
the existence of WTC-7, Able Danger, PTEC, Sibel Edmonds, OBL and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, and as for Bush and Cheney, well, no one knows what they told it because they testified in secret, off the record, not under oath, and behind closed doors. It didn't bother to look at who funded the attacks because that question is ultimately of little practical significance. Still, the 9/11 Commission did brilliantly answering all of the questions the public had, except most of the victims' family members' questions, and pinned blame on all the people responsible, although no one so much as lost their job, determining the attacks were
Failure of imagination.
because
Nobody in our government, at least, and I don't think the prior government could envision flying airplanes into buildings.
except the Pentagon, FEMA,
You
NORAD,
can't envision
and
that, really?
The DIA destroyed 2.5 terabytes of data on Able Danger, but that's okay because it probably wasn't important. The SEC destroyed their records on the investigation into the insider trading before the attacks, but that's okay because destroying the records of the largest investigation in SEC history is just part of routine record keeping. NIST has classified the data that they used for their model of WTC-7's collapse, but that's okay because knowing how they made their model of the collapse would jeopardize public safety. The FBI has argued that all material related to their investigation of 9/11 should be kept secret from the public, but that's okay because the FBI probably has nothing to hide. This man never existed, nor is anything he had to say worthy of your attention, and if you say otherwise, you are a paranoid conspiracy theorist and deserve to be shunned by all of humanity. Likewise him, and her, and her, and her, and him. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. Then he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away. Then he lived in Abbottabad for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence dragnet ever and the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for a decade, releasing video after video with complete impunity and getting younger and younger as he did so, before finally being found in a daring SEAL team raid which wasn't recorded on video, in which he didn't resist or use his wife as a human shield, and in which these crack special forces operatives panicked and killed this unarmed man, supposedly the best source of intelligence about those dastardly terrorists on the entire planet. Then they dumped his body in the ocean before telling anyone about it. Then a couple dozen of that team's members died in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. This is the story of 9/11, brought to you by the media which told you the hard truths about
his hip could be seen to move violently forward.
And
They took the baby out.
Yeah, the whole 9/11 thing has so many fucking holes in it. It's ridiculous.
The rescue of Jessica Lynch.
If you have any questions about this story, you are a batshit, paranoid, tinfoil, dog-abusing baby hater and will be reviled by
Alright.
If you love your country and or freedom, happiness, rainbows, rock and roll, puppy dogs, apple pie, and your grandma, service.
It's actually not the best. It's a good, quick one, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Actually, I did dude, I lost sleep for like a year over 9/11. Back in the day, man.
Look, it just doesn't even matter, dude. The people in power are just gonna do incredibly fucked up, weird shit for reasons we can't even fathom. And it just doesn't fucking matter because there's nothing we can do about it.
You know, I just really think it was just for money.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, that and so they could trample our rights. Like all the laws that came out of 9/11 to go chase terrorists. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there's so many rights that have been taken away from people in the name of protecting our country.
Yeah, I mean, we just live in.
It's just Big Brother, man. I mean,
we live in a dictatorship of some of sorts. Like I don't know really what you call it, like some sort of communist dystopia.
You know what? I'll bet you anything. They don't even. I'll bet you 1984 isn't even required reading anymore.
Oh no, they're rewriting it as we speak.
What? They're
Yeah.
rewriting the book?
Yeah.
Why?
Because under the guise of feminism, but of course we know what they're going to do to it. I mean, they're rewriting all of it. They're trying to rewrite Tolkien. That's like why I buy books. Like I'm afraid I'm going to keep books in PDF form because books are going to get rewritten. They're already being rewritten. So we got to be really careful about is things will change with the sands of time. This is something I'm learning about history. Like if you go and drop, you've heard me say this, if you go and drop, the whole veil of, all the shit that you learned, you think you know about the last couple hundred years, you start, your eyes open to some stuff, like really.
Well, that's like the Mandela effect, right?
What about the Mandela effect?
Okay, so for instance, everybody remembers something a certain way, but then you go and look something up and all evidence on the internet or whatnot says that you're wrong. You're remembering it wrong.
I think that's a compilation of things. I don't think it's one thing. I actually think that's three or four phenomena, but it could actually be a lot more. Like, for instance, I think that one part of it is that human consciousness can really alter. And if you weren't in that if you're not in that bubble, stuff could look weird to you. Let me put it like this. There's actual experimentation going on out there. I think that's also part of the phenomena too, where they purposefully do it.
Yes, to see if anybody catches on.
Right.
and to see how easily they can.
They've been Fruit of the Loom got caught doing that for some reason, like with a cornucopia, like.
Yeah. That's one of the most famous ones because it's proven.
Yeah, like I don't know if I believe the Berenstein Bears ones.
Yeah.
I'm
People
not.
still have shirts with the fucking cornucopia on the goddamn tag, and they're like, "No, we've never had that."
Yeah,
okay.
It's like I'm not even sure I believe the Berenstein Bears one. I'm not even sure I believe it. Well, like some of them, it's like, who cares? Why do you focus so hard on that stuff?
Well, if I could afford my own property, I wouldn't care much at all about this stuff.
I love how this tree gets in the way.
Yeah, have you seen all those ones? Have you seen all the analyses of like there? I don't think there were really planes. I think the planes were fake. I think it was the first time they like really tried using this stuff live and as like a weapon and stuff. There's a bunch of analysis of all the different footage and how it looks like it's all just video edited in, and actually kind of poorly too. It's like not that good. It's like real obvious in a couple shots, like where they just really screwed it up. And like they were like, you can tell that a lot of the journalists were like given time cues. They missed a couple of their time cues, and then they like got updated information, and they're like, "Oh no, that didn't actually happen yet. Oh no, okay, now it happened." You know, like so. And yeah, there's a bunch, and like all over Europe they did that because there must have been like the internet wasn't quite as like effective yet. Like communications like that internationally weren't quite as hot. So there's like a lot of these like international broadcasts. They were broadcasting shit that hadn't happened yet. Like, oh, this building went down and this went down, and it's like, no, it didn't.
How they say, or like the atheist argument for some stuff is that if Christianity or take your pick of religion, if religion wasn't invented, it would have advanced so many years ahead, like from the Dark Ages and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it also could have gone the opposite direction.
So, one of the things. So, did you guys see the speech of RFK that Trump was having on there?
No, I don't really watch politics. Well, here's a good one. This is infamous footage. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Black, hang on 1 second. So take a look at this. There's no plane, and then watch the plane appear out of nowhere. Watch this. You can talk. There's no sound. I just want you guys to watch.
Can I take it back some frames?
Sure.
I want to see the moment where this plane appeared.
Right there.
The video's not showing where it appeared.
Yeah, it does. It's the upper right corner. This is one of two videos. I'm trying to find and pull up the other one.
No, but it flew in off frame.
Yeah. So I said this right there.
Yeah, the video doesn't show the area where the plane wasn't.
No.
Or was.
This isn't the best video of that. Like, I'm still collecting these videos. I hadn't collected them before, but I'm starting to collect this kind of stuff. But there's a bunch of them that show that that there were no planes. Like, look at this one. Boom. You don't see any plane coming from the other side. Watch this. There's no plane.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no plane. I'm telling you, there's no planes. There's so much, like, there was no planes. I've watched hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of this. In fact, I think it was directed energy weapons for the most part. I think they rigged it. I think they used like 4 different kinds of explosives. I think they used explosives in the basement. I think they used explosives rigged up in the upper parts. I think they used a couple of rods of gods if they didn't just outright use lasers. There was some weird phenomena. This is really cool. This is one of my favorite things about 9/11. I'll move on after this. This is one of my absolute favorite things about 9/11. Hang on, I'm trying to pull up this other clip. Here we go. So there's this parking lot that I'd actually hung out in a few times. It's I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the.
This video has no plane in it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I collect these videos. There was this parking lot, and it's about 3 miles from the World Trade Center, right? And it's right on the beach on the west side of the island, and all these cars were incinerated, and there was these big fucking holes in the ground. And I think they fucking launched tungsten rods through. Like, someone did this angle. There's this one lady, like Judy something. She's a proponent of the directed energy weapon theory, but I think she gets it wrong. I think they use rods of gods. I think they're the most effective and the most like reliable that we've used them before. They're just super black op, quiet, like super secret, but we totally have them. Yeah. Tungsten rods. Do you know what a rod of God is?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's like a, I don't know, really heavy rod. Of course, it's more sophisticated than that, and they're laser guided. That they launch from satellites, and the tungsten's just so heavy and so hard, they can just penetrate anything, go right through a building, and they go like 60,000 miles an hour when they come in, so you can't see them either. They're invisible. They're just dead silent, and they don't really create explosions except for the fact that they just create insane amounts of friction and heat when they penetrate things. Like anything that's combustible is going to ignite, but they don't have explosives in them. They don't need it. Just like 15-ton tungsten rods that are laser guided that drop in at 60,000 miles an hour. I forgot. I actually did some calculations on how. Like what the cost is to get them up so they're like likely size is like a full payload as a satellite. Like a dozen of them, or you could do like one really heavy one. They could just like drop and just nuke a city. Just put a crater in a city, just like. Yeah, I'm sure they use these things before.
And it's just mass conversion, like.
Well, I would be surprised if they've used these to drill in places. So, like, you want to talk to me about some crazy shit that I believe and some stuff that I think has probably already occurred? Is it like you want to talk about, like, let's say there's giants that live underneath the South Pole. There's this Nephilim that live up there or whatever, and there's these like superpower pyramids and shit all over the place, and there's still a couple of them turned on, and there's like aliens coming to and fro and like hanging out with us and shit. Well, guess what? Humans are pretty good at fucking projectiles for whatever reason. Like, we are scary with these things. Like, we really do have, stuff that's, those tungsten rods, in some sense are probably scarier than nukes. You can hit anything you fucking want with this thing, and it will obliterate it without any, almost no fallout,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could obliterate any fucking alien base with one of those things. You can blow one up on the moon. You can probably blow one up on Mars. You just get it up into space and launch it at something. And we drop satellites on fucking tiny little planets and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's this really cool UAP story I heard. And this is apparently a confirmed NASA story as well too. I'd like to know some more about it, actually. But there's a probe that went to Mercury, and Mercury's got this little moon, and it's like a really small moon. It's like 30 miles across or something like that. And when they got close to it, there was another smaller satellite orbiting the satellite, orbiting the moon. And it came at it. It came at the probe and shut the probe off. And then it just didn't transmit back anymore. But my point being is, sure, create wild stuff all over the place. Why not? These things are cool. These are the kinds of things I saw the other night. It's like a really good. I saw them from further away, but like the way they're acting.
Yeah, it's true. Alright, guys. Well, I'm gonna rack out. I'm exhausted.
That's fine. I'm tired too.
Had a really long day.
I can fall asleep right now too.
And we've been doing this for over an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pass out. Actually, I drank a beer. I'm surprised I did. I've tried drinking a beer a couple times and I couldn't do it.
But always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
Black, Jake, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, I'm super tired. I've been having freaking like mouth problems. Did you leave? Black? Did you leave?